the hidden science and power of ASMR. There is a quiet revolution happening across the world, one that doesn't shout, doesn't demand attention, and yet captivates millions of people every single day. It lives in whispers, in gentle taps, in the slow brushing of hair, and in the soft turning of pages. This phenomenon is known as ASMR, Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. And while to understand ASMR, you have to begin not with science, but with feeling. Imagine sitting in a quiet room. Someone speaks softly nearby, not to perform, not to impress, but simply to comfort. Their voice is slow, deliberate, and calm. As you listen, a subtle sensation begins to form. It starts at the crown of your head, a light, almost electric tingling, and gently travels down your neck, across your shoulders, and sometimes even into your arms. It doesn't overwhelm you. It doesn't demand anything from you. It simply exists, calm, peaceful, and deeply personal. That sensation is ASMR. But here's where it gets interesting. Not everyone experiences it. For those who do, it can feel almost magical. For those who don't, it can seem confusing, even strange. Yet both perspectives reveal something important. ASMR is not just a reaction. It is a window into how differently human brains process comfort, attention, and sensory input. At its core, ASMR is triggered by specific stimuli. These are often soft, repetitive, and intentional actions. Whispering is one of the most common triggers. Not loud speech, not dramatic expression, but quiet, close, almost intimate communication. Then there are sounds: tapping, scratching, crinkling, brushing. Each one activates a different response, almost like a key unlocking a specific part of the mind. But why do these triggers work? The answer lies somewhere between neuroscience and human emotion. When people experience ASMR, studies suggest that certain areas of the brain associated with relaxation, bonding, and reward become active. These are the same systems involved when someone feels safe, cared for, or emotionally connected. In a way, ASMR mimics the feeling of being gently looked after. Think about moments from childhood when someone spoke softly to you, helped you focus, or gave you their full attention. Those moments carried a sense of safety and calm. ASMR taps into that same emotional memory, even if you're not consciously aware of it. And that's what makes it powerful. In a world filled with noise, speed, and constant stimulation, ASMR does the opposite. It slows everything down. It invites you to pause. It reminds your nervous system that it doesn't have to be on high alert all the time. This is why millions of people turn to ASMR not just for entertainment, but for relief, stress, anxiety, insomnia. These are some of the biggest challenges people face today. And while ASMR is not a cure, it acts as a tool, a gentle, accessible, and deeply personal tool. When someone watches or listens to ASMR content, their breathing often slows. Their heart rate may decrease. Muscles begin to relax. The mind, which is usually racing with thoughts, begins to settle. It's not forced. It's not structured. It simply happens. There's also something else happening beneath the surface, something even more profound. ASMR creates a sense of presence. In everyday life, true attention is rare. Conversations are rushed. Devices interrupt constantly. People are physically present, but mentally elsewhere. ASMR content, however, is built entirely around attention. The creator looks directly into the camera, speaks as if they are addressing only you, and performs actions with deliberate care. This creates the illusion, or perhaps the experience, of one-on-one connection. And the human brain responds to that. Even though the viewer knows it's a video, the emotional response can feel real. This is not deception. It's empathy in a digital form. It shows how deeply humans are wired for connection, even when that connection is simulated. But ASMR is not just about relaxation and connection. It is also about control. In a chaotic world, ASMR gives people something predictable. The sounds are consistent. The pace is steady. There are no sudden surprises. This predictability creates a sense of safety, which is essential for relaxation. And yet, despite its simplicity, ASMR is incredibly diverse. There are countless styles and approaches. Some creators focus on sound, high-quality microphones capturing every tiny detail. Others focus on visuals, slow hand movements, precise actions, and careful repetition. Some create role plays, simulating real-life experiences like a haircut, a medical checkup, or a quiet conversation. Each approach taps into different triggers, and each person responds differently. What relaxes one person might do nothing for another. This makes ASMR highly individualized, almost like a sensory fingerprint. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of ASMR is what it reveals about the future. We are entering an era where digital experiences are becoming more immersive, more personalized, and more emotionally aware. ASMR sits at the intersection of all these trends. It combines technology, psychology, and creativity to produce something that feels deeply human. It raises important questions. Can digital content truly replace certain forms of human interaction? Can sound and attention alone create a meaningful, emotional experience? And what does it say about modern life that millions seek comfort through a screen? These are not simple questions, and ASMR does not offer simple answers. But it does offer insight. It shows that even in a hyper-connected world, people crave calm. They crave attention. They crave moments where nothing is demanded of them. And perhaps that is the real power of ASMR. Not the tingles, not the sounds, not even the relaxation, but the reminder that slowing down is not a weakness, that quiet can be powerful, that attention, real, focused attention, is one of the most valuable experiences a human being can have. So whether you feel ASMR or not, whether you understand it or not, its existence tells a story about the human mind, a story about connection in the digital age, and a story about the quiet ways we find peace in a loud world. And maybe, just maybe, that's something worth listening to.